Hi, I'm Kelly Gahn. Welcome to Outdoor Family Adventures. Each week, we take a family just like yours on an exciting journey through the great outdoors. Today, our family will travel the snow-covered trails at Wilderness Lodge using one of the most time-tested methods of winter travel, snowshoeing. But while snowshoeing might be a practice that is almost as old as the caveman, it is completely new to our family, so this could be a challenging day. Miles of beautiful, expertly groomed trails await our family at Wilderness Lodge in Wattsburg, Pennsylvania. In fact, Wilderness Lodge's system of cross-country style trails is more extensive than that of any other resort in the central Great Lakes region. The pristine woods and varied snow-covered terrains create an ambiance of undisturbed beauty, making it possible to believe that you're back in the early days of the ancient sport. However, snowshoeing was not a recreational activity 6,000 years ago, when Central Asians developed the use of crude snowshoes to travel long distances over snow, hunting and foraging for food all the while. Snowshoes then were essential to survival during the cold winter months in Central Asia. Snowshoeing in its modern sense was not a recreational activity until the 1970s, when aluminum tubing, neoprene, and nylon replaced the wood, animal hides, and leather laces of the ancient people's device. With the new, more comfortable design, snowshoeing developed into a sport in itself. Many runners and hikers found that taking up the cold weather sport allowed them to continue their hobbies and their training year-round. Plus, snowshoeing offered the added benefit of being gentler on the feet than running or even walking, because the snow serves to cushion the foot's impact. In the same way, snow also cushions the earth and protects against trail erosion, making snowshoeing even less detrimental to the environment than summertime hiking. It is an environmentally friendly sport, and one that is almost as old as civilization itself. But it's not as easy as it looks. So let's take today's adventure one step at a time with some help from an expert guide.
Very first thing, we showed them some of the examples of different kinds of snowshoes. This is a tear. This is a bear paw. Okay, the tear shape has the tear coming off it, and what that tail does is as you're walking, it stays in the snow. So it allows the foot to go straight and drop down. It's just a little bit more cumbersome than more modern shoes, which are made of aircraft aluminum and neoprene. They're a little bit lighter. The configuration for the binding is, it allows you more freedom of your foot, because that'll actually bend where this is a flat surface and it doesn't want to give. So they have a little better boot binding combination so that when the foot's in there, it tilts so that you can actually purchase some snow and grab it. It makes for an easier walking step, and it puts less stress on the front of your calves. As far as putting these things on, there is a right and a left. And what happens is the heel would, of course, be where the plastic is. And the middle of the ball of your foot, you'll want right about over there. The bigger the person, you'll want to put them in a little bit bigger shoe because they've got more flotation, more square inches on the snow, which will keep you up as compared to just sinking in. That becomes sort of a challenge in getting you all configured. So I've started with Dad at the top with the green pair, and then Mom, and then the kids down the line. So if I take a very heavy person and I put them on a small shoe, they're going to want to sink lower into the ground. They're going to be working harder. The heavier the person, a little bit larger footprint, a little bit more cushion, and you'll stay more on top. So now with the modern equipment, it's easy. People can learn this sport in 30 minutes and literally just take off and go out their backyard and have fun regardless.
Snowshoeing is a sport that can be enjoyed by people of all ages, as this family of 6 is ready to prove. So let's get to know them before we set out on today's adventure.
I'm Adam Larson.
I'm Sarah Larson.
I am Mary Larson.
I'm Erica Larson.
I'm Drew Larson.
I'm Nathan Larson.
We try to keep the kids active. We try to keep them involved in activities which are, one, A, physical, B, also give them an experience.
Our days are really packed full, and I usually am the first one up. I usually get up around 5 or 5:30.
Well, with my family, we love to go camping and kayaking and going to the beach and fishing.
We ride our bikes on the peninsula sometimes, go to the beach a lot in the summer, fishing.
Personally, a lot of things I like to do by myself and my friends like to do is play on the computer and play on my Xbox. But outside, I like with my family, I like to hunt.
My dad took Adam and I to get our license like 2 weeks ago. We both passed, obviously. And my mom and Erica, they don't really hunt. Erica's more like the one who likes fluffy little animals and things like that.
And many times people say to me, we have 4 children, and they say, because of the triplets, they say, oh, wouldn't it be great if everybody had the same activity, and why didn't you encourage everybody to kind of do the same thing? And it is absolutely impossible.
There's too many forces pulling the families apart. We're trying to find things which, can keep the family, at least up to a certain age, bonded together. We realize that the kids are going to go their own way soon enough, and there's only going to be so many years that they're going to want to do things as a family, but we're trying to create an atmosphere where we can do stuff together and create memories for the kids to remember as a family unit.
It looks as simple as just walking through the woods, but is it? Let's check in with an outdoor family adventure sports doctor to learn more about the physical effects and benefits before hitting the trails.
Other than the cold weather injuries that are always present for snowy conditions, be careful about the extra weight that is going to be carried around with snowshoes and the snow that will accumulate on top of them. They can add a lot more stress and strain on the joints and ligaments in the lower extremity, as well as the unsteady ground, the ability to walk with something strapped to your feet is really an unnatural thing that some people have trouble getting used to, but most people adapt pretty quickly to that. Snowshoeing is, in fact, less jarring and lower impact on the joints when compared with walking and running, but we still need to keep in mind that the extra weight of the snowshoes, the extra weight of the snow that can accumulate on the snowshoes can add an extra reverse stress on the joints and on the lower extremity.
The trails are covered in snow and our family is ready to make some tracks. So let the adventure and the challenges begin.
It is a little awkward at first until you get a sense of maybe your first foot in the shoe. Then you have to stand up.
Sort of rock as you go.
Turned out to be kind of hard, like at first, but then you got used to it.
I like being outdoors. I like snow a lot. I snowshoed once before, but without any guides or anything.
These are much easier to learn on.
Real nice orientation with Roger about the history of snowshoes, a little bit about how they're made and how they're used. We learned a little bit about how to put them on, how to adjust the buckles on them.
The back strap and then the first strap. And then he showed us how to move around.
I was thinking it would be cold and it would be neat to learn how to snowshoe. It would be fun.
First loop was a little bit less than a mile, and we went into a woods that was primarily made up of pine trees. Okay, circle up.
It was a good chance for everybody to get in sync and how to wear the shoes and how to work together and break the path.
So when you're out and you've got a family and you're trying to make a little bit of time or just have more fun and save more energy, take turns at the front.
He said that the front person in the line usually packs down the snow to make it easier, and that takes the most work. When you're in the front, you have to lift your feet up really high, and then the second person, they just slide along, and then the rest come.
And literally cut steps in the snow. So you lift, take a step, and come up. Take another step, and come up. So it depends on how steep a hill.
That was a lot of fun. He told us, once again, just if you have a group, it's a lot easier when you pack it down, even on the hill.
So if you'd like to follow me, we'll go up.
The grippers on the bottom of the shoes you have to be conscious of, I found.
You can actually go up a hill and dig in. You couldn't do that with the regular old wooden shoes. They didn't have that ability.
It's pretty hard, even with the snowshoes on, to go up a hill, and even going down the hill. It's a lot of work going up and down. It's fun. It's fun, though.
There you go. So they got used to a little bit of climbing, and then we made the turn and came out to the top of the hill just prior to where we had the challenge. Mary, this is your challenge for your family. We want to wish you a lot of luck and have fun.
Thanks.
Read that to your team members.
Snowshoe Ranger Race. This is a team challenge. Strategy can be the key to the Snowshoe Ranger Race. Be the first Ranger team to make it to the finish line.
That was extremely difficult going up the hill in the deep snow. It made it interesting. It wasn't just a walk in the woods.
Gentlemen, on your marks, get set, go!
My dad and they had to run to me and Adam were in the sleds. Then they had to pull us up a hill, and then we had to go to our mom and my sister.
That was pretty hard. I knew it was going to be hard just by looking at it.
But my kids would never give up. None of us would ever give up. There is not one of us that would ever plop down and say, forget this, I'm not doing it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
So we're combining that going across the flats along with how do you get up a hill? And just knowing the fact that they have to be forward on their snowshoes, that they have to use a lot of small steps in order to save energy and to get up there. I think they used all of those things just in the course of that 150, 200 yards we had them exercising in.
It was really, really hard. My dad, he had to take 2 rests during going up the hill.
If I went past my son, I'd be showing him up. I'm a little taller than him. I'm probably a little bit older and stronger. And I didn't want to really embarrass my son in this situation.
I helped drag my sister up with my dad the rest of the way. It was really hard.
I was kind of mad that I had to take my brother because I know my sister's a lot lighter. I don't know how much my mom was helping back there.
You had to mention that. It was a positioning issue.
I heard her laughing a lot back there. I don't know though.
I did try and pull on that rope to try and drag Adam up.
She got in the way a lot, so I guess she just stopped helping.
But my shoes kept getting stuck on Nathan's right in front of me.
Yeah, I think she was a little slacking.
So I had to step aside, and then I couldn't reach my rope, and it was a calamity. So I think I was just there for moral support at the end.
Nathan, you are awesome.
I know I definitely faded out there at the end. I was in a lot of pain, but I think we won by a little bit. I know it was close.
It was close. I could see my son was starting to run out of energy. His mother was lacking helping him at the proper time. It was so close. I'm not quite so sure. We're kind of looking to find out that answer ourselves. We never got a definitive answer.
Come between the cones. Come between the cones. Look where you're going. My opinion, it came out to be more or less a tie at the end, and we'll wait for the camera to show us whether we had an official winner. But I called it a tie, and I think they both really tried hard to get there, and the whole family worked well together.
I guess we just like to have snowball fights.
That's genetic, I think. The snowball fighting is definitely genetic, and not from me, but from my husband. He has that Nordic blood, and my children definitely have it.
We love the snowball fight, except sometimes I don't really win a lot, so. Yeah, we had snowball fights, and Nate would push us down and wrestle.
It's pretty much a group activity. Everyone was joining in. I don't know who started it, but it was fun.
Every time we turned around, the kids had snowballs, and they were either hitting mom or dad or each other, and tumbling down the hills. And if we'd have let them be out all day, I'm sure they'd be popsicles by now, but they had a great time doing it.
They really enjoyed themselves. They like being able to be outside, being able to free-fall romp. They really enjoy, being able to tackle each other and throw the snow. And we let that go. In this type of environment, they're allowed to do it, and we let them do it. They've also been working quite hard in school. We're really proud of how they've done. They've been working a lot of weekends and a lot of nights, and this is the time for them to blow off steam. It worked out quite well for us.
Drew, this is your second challenge. If you'll read that for your family, and then we'll go.
The Chip Tooth Challenge. This is an individual challenge. 6 pieces of bubble gum are buried in this snowdrift. Be the first to find your gum and blow a bubble.
We had to introduce them to a new event that they've probably never done before, but most people have had bubble gum. They've just never had frozen bubble gum.
Oh my gosh.
At first I thought that we could just dig and you'd find the bubble gum wrapped up, but someone had dastardly ideas and made it even more challenging to freeze it in an ice cup.
We had to take the bubble gum out of the ice, crack it, and then we had to chew it, which was really hard.
It was just everyone for themselves, and you had to chew it and make a bubble.
We tried immediately to hit on the table. The tables were plastic. I didn't find it to be very successful, and then I realized we'd hit two of them together, and that worked quite effectively.
I just started smashing it against the leg of the table.
We were bashing the ice cube on the table. I used my snowshoe a few times on mine.
I wasn't really expecting to dig for bubble gum, but when we did, I was expecting just to be bubble gum instead it was like in ice cubes.
The gum was hard as a rock, and so that's where I was getting a little worried about the kids' teeth, because they would have no governor on them. They would just chew into a rock.
Watch your teeth. These people were standing on snowshoes at the time they were chewing gum, which proves you can snowshoe and chew gum simultaneously.
I kept the team mode going there. We were in the team mode earlier, and at that point in time, that was correct. It was stated as an individual challenge, and I even read that, and I guess I forgot.
I helped my sister most of all because she can blow bubbles.
I had to pick it out with my fingernails, the little ones that I do have, and that was rather painful, but anything to win.
I was pretty focused on getting that open. I just saw my mom blowing it first.
I wasn't really expecting my mom to win, but when she started blowing bubbles, I expected she was going to win.
My wife, Mary, won the challenge. I really wasn't paying a lot of attention to how they won or how they worked together.
I think that it's my competitiveness that comes out. Afterwards, I thought I probably should have let one of the kids win, but then I thought, nah, I'm not going to do that. So I did try my best. And I think I probably have a little more experience than the others blowing bubbles. So that's probably why I got there.
Roger was very enjoyable. We really did enjoy it. He kept a nice pace, kept the kids interested. He knew when to chime in and add things.
Okay, so here's a question. Why is it there's more cherry right here than virtually any other type of tree?
He taught us about the patterns of the deer. He told us about how to navigate when it's dark out with like the streams, how they run north and south around here. He told us about the
That's a good answer.
black cherry trees.
And the real answer? Deer do not like black cherry shoots. It's bitter. So they'll chew everything else up so it won't grow.
He told us that the black cherry trees the deer didn't like them because they were bitter. And so that's why there are a lot of cherry trees.
So that made it a lot of fun too, to be out there and learn about the woods as well.
Okay. Everybody gets a turn. That's part of the experience, is you don't have to go out and race around. You can literally go out and stop and see where you are, and maybe you can see some animals, or if you're a birder, you can get in and see the birds and things of that nature. So take advantage of the time that you're there, and I think they were appreciative of just being out in the woods and having that experience and the beauty of Mother Nature.
It was beautiful. Just like looking at everything, not anything really specific.
It was still pretty neat watching everything just have snow on it and everything.
I'm glad that it was a little bit slower, and so that we could appreciate really the woods. And plus, everybody was tired. After that relay, you didn't have too much left. I didn't have too much left in my legs. They were shaking.
Nate, here's your next challenge.
Snowshoe volleyball. This is a team challenge. Bump, set, spike. Be the first team to score 11 points. Can you dig it?
We had to play volleyball in our snowshoes, and it was the same teams as the first challenge.
We were in snowshoes and we had to pass the volleyball around, and first one to 11 points won.
We're game for anything. it added a whole new twist to a game that I thought was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
I don't know that anyone really should be playing volleyball in snowshoes, is my overall observation.
It was kind of hard. I couldn't really serve the ball. I couldn't hit it far, but I like to play ball, you know.
All right.
It was definitely different.
The lesson is balance. Anytime that you improve on that, agility and muscle tone, it'll make you a better athlete, just make you more fun, or just make you realize that, hey, I can do this. Switch sides. We're going to eliminate that sun and wind combination.
We were losing and our opponents were winning, and once we switched, we started winning.
They basically had no chance. We put the message out there.
Oh!
Yes!
Wow!
We can be an intimidating force, you know, you're looking down at us, and, you know, I think that they just got a little bit psyched out, and they just got a little intimidated once we turned the corner there. So, you know, we held our own for a little while.
Okay, 6 apiece, switch sides again.
My team had the advantage because we had my dad, and he's the tallest, and he was like taller than the net, so he could hit everything.
And there's a point. Woo! And so slowly they rose up to the point. It was 9-9, and everybody's getting a little bit more tense, and you could see the challenge in their eyes, and they were willing to dive for the ball. Not quite.
We're all pretty competitive when it comes to that stuff. I guess it runs in the family, you could say.
Oh, stop the clock.
Game point. 10 serving 9. Coming right to Nathan.
The most valuable player, I would think, I mean, I would have to say it's Drew. I think that Drew he's the most valuable dad, and and I would say that Drew would be the most valuable player because he's instilled that love of play in all of us.
Snowshoeing with your family is a great way to keep in shape and stay in touch during the long winter months. If you would like more information on our program, you can visit our website. We'll see you next time on Outdoor Family Adventures.
Okay, we're going to hold up as soon as we get into the prairie.
I feel tired. I'm glad I had that experience. I feel happy that I went outdoors and did something today.
I just like being outdoors a lot, and it was a nice chance to hang out with my family for a while.
It was kind of cool to do something different together. I would do it again. It was really fun.
It wasn't just a hike in the woods, it was a learning, and we really encourage that with our kids and trying to learn something every time we get a chance to. Great guide, and a wonderful place to be.
It's fun to be outdoors in the snow and be good with your family. I like it.
They have a lot of family spirit and ability to play well together, and I didn't see a whole lot of criticism or them not getting along, because as a family unit they really were in for a good day and they enjoyed every minute of it.
As a mom, to see my kids enjoy each other the way they did, and to laugh and to roll in the snow, you know, what else is there? There's nothing else to say.
One might say that the chocolate cake would be too hot to cut, yeah.
All right, did we get that?
Funding for Outdoor Family Adventures has been provided by the Pennsylvania Public Television Network and for nearly 70 years, caring about people has been our pledge. We're Highmark, supporting programs which promote active families. Pennsylvania Travel and Tourism. Active families know there's more to do in Pennsylvania.
St. Vincent Health Center is Erie's first hospital with cardiologist and neonatal intensive care services, specializing in neuroscience, cancer and emergency medicine, and physician-based sports medicine.
Edinburgh University of Pennsylvania, with locations in Edinburgh, Erie, and Meadville, one of the 14 universities in Pennsylvania's state system of higher education. And by the members of this public television station.